Welcome to the Weekly Dosage. This week we'll be talking about USP 800. If you didn't know, a bunch of regulations go into effect on December 1st of 2019. USP Chapter 800, the chapter for handling hazardous drugs in a healthcare setting, made a bunch of changes to mitigate the exposure risks of patients and workers. These new standards promote safety during the handling of hazardous drugs, during the receipt, storage, compounding, dispensing, administration, and disposal of sterile and non-sterile products. Getting ready for the new 800 standard started in 2016 when the changes were announced. Since then, facilities have been taking the needed steps to become compliant. Many places required a major redesign after conducting their hazardous risk assessments. Also, new regulation requires a ton of documentation to maintain their compliance. Policy updates, education of staff, and monitoring their compliance is now part of ongoing record keeping. In addition, each facility must maintain a comprehensive list of hazardous drugs handled on site. The provider of this list is the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. But moving forward with the changes in December, we've got to ask ourselves, what does this mean for technicians? Well, our responsibilities under USP 800 can boil down to a pretty manageable list. We should expect training for any policy or procedure that has been updated to be in compliance with the new 800 standards. Also, make sure you stay up to date with all documentation responsibilities, whether it's an acknowledgement that there's been a policy update or if it's a daily cleaning log, stay on top of it. All the tools needed to meet these new regulations will be provided for us, namely the training for proper handling, compounding, and cleaning procedures, as well as the PPE necessary to reduce exposure risks when working with the hazardous drugs. The standards of USP 800 were updated to make sure we had the tools to reduce our risk when handling hazardous drugs. Our compliance is necessary to avoid negative exposure